We have all been warned that there are certain dark corners you just don't go down. In every neighborhood, there was always that dark alleyway, that mysterious wooded area, that seedy part of town. We know nothing about these places, for we've never ventured there. All we know is that A, it's dark, and B, bad things happen there. Ranma Saotome's life is wrought with anguish and non-stop drama. His one respite is his school, Furinken High, a place where he can learn and where cooler heads prevail. Besides the antics of Principal Kuno and his son Tatewaki, there's not a whole lot of weirdness going on there. But oh, Furinken High has a secret. A deep, dark secret that Toramasa has long gone unnoticed. A certain hallway that no one goes down. A hallway that even on a bright summer day is enveloped in darkness. The students gossip about what is at the end of the hall, as young kids often do. Popular belief is that it hides the location of the fabled secondary school store, and that its cursed vendor still dwells there in the shadows. It is rumored that he will place a bad luck curse on anyone crazy enough to venture through the depths of hell and tread foot in his store. Well, how can Ranma Saotome, a pioneer of anything goes martial arts, not look at this as anything less than a challenge? Ranma Saotome bravely crept into the darkness to find that the rumors of the school store were true, and he came face to face with the monster. And thus, Pandora's box was opened.
Akane, are you...
Ranma!
What are you doing?
Ah, kids and their crazy stories. Meet Toramasa Kobayakawa, the mysterious vendor himself. He is no monster. He has no curse to speak of. He's just a lonely, sickly old man who just wants somebody to play with. He has spent many long years at the end of that dreary hallway, waiting for someone to visit his store. Now, thanks to Ranma Saotome, he is back in business and once again can step into the light. Toramasa runs the secondary school store, which sells not only the basics, pencils, calculators, moldy old bread, but specializes in items of the occult. The store is littered with enchanted weapons, cursed Chinese trinkets, tools of voodoo, and the like. He acquired them throughout his travels, has them in deep storage, and is constantly turning up new relics for sale, wreaking havoc at Furinken High as a result. Toramasa Kobayakawa may have a hacking, dying cough, but put a cup of tea in him and he will spin you harrowing tales of a storied past, of how he and his troops crossed many a land and survived many a grisly battle. He speaks of his involvement in world-renowned historic events like the Napoleonic Wars and World War II. He is a man who has seen a great deal, at least so he says. A lot of his stories are so ridiculous, his heroics so exaggerated, that they should not be taken seriously. But it doesn't really matter whether it's all fact or fiction, for he's such a master storyteller, you are helpless but to stop and listen. Even though he is a wise old man, he also has a Jim Carrey-ish wit about him. In addition to being just plain goofy, it's not uncommon for he to dress up in flamboyant outfits to stress his point, sometimes in the middle of a sentence. Toramasa may tell some real whoppers, and many times they are simply the false ramblings of an old man. But one thing that is true is that Toramasa Kobayakawa was once the martial arts headmaster at Furinken High. Anything that had so much as a lick of martial arts in it, Toramasa prevailed over. And in his heyday, he was not just a martial artist, but a war general at Furinken. Back when Furinken High was just getting started, he led troops and fought off rival schools, while helping lay the foundations of what would become one of the finest schools in Tokyo. Being somewhat of a martial artist himself, Tatewaki Kuno, the Blue Thunder of Furinken High, has knowledge of Toramasa's storied history, and looks to him as an idol and mentor. Even when Toramasa rambles on like a senile old man, Kuno hangs on every word and accepts it as gospel. Toramasa in turn accepts Kuno as a loyal fan, and the two have a decent working relationship. When Toramasa unearths any magical items or weapons, it is usually Kuno who gets first dibs. Of course, it doesn't hurt that the man has extremely deep pockets. Although Toramasa may have fought some wars in his heyday, as of press time, he isn't exactly what you'd call physically gifted. When it comes to Toramasa's physical prowess, his best days are obviously behind him. But this shrewd man has more than a few ways to compensate. For one, he is the master of the art of invisibility. Toramasa has the unique ability to disappear from his opponent's view and suddenly pop up behind him, almost like teleportation. He enjoys taunting his opponents, playing mind games, camouflaging himself to his surroundings like a chameleon, basically playing catch me if you can, and berating his opponent with his booming voice all the while. He can do this in any setting. He has a habit of popping up where he's generally not wanted, in a real Sakurambu type fashion. But it is on his home turf, Furinken High School, where he is untouchable. Let us remember, he was there when the school was a mere blueprint. He knows all the school's inner workings, and there are literally miles of hidden tunnels hidden by trick walls and trap doors. This knowledge is his and his alone, and he can use it to literally pop up anywhere, almost like he has his own portable hole. If stealth and invisibility don't work, then Toramasa can compensate by being an expert conniver and shrewd con man. He is a man of minute decency, no stranger to bargaining and blackmail. With little conscience, he reduces his far superior opponents to slobbery mush. Of course, if all else fails, he can resort to his latest tactic, sicking his faithful lapdog, TATEWAKI KUNO, on his opponent. KUNO may be a proud warrior of virtue, but for Toramasa Kobayakawa, he is like a pack mule. While it's true that Toramasa and Ranma Saotome don't see eye to eye, his real beef is with the principal of Furinken High, Headmaster KUNO. Toramasa happens to have in his possession some information on Principal KUNO that could potentially destroy his reputation. Through skills of digging up dirt and blackmail, Toramasa held a great degree of power over Principal KUNO. The principal could not have that, not in his school. For this, Toramasa was banished to the bowels of Furinken High, out of view from everyone, a prisoner of the secondary school store. Well, this was a problem that couldn't merely be swept under the rug. Now the old man and his store have been rediscovered, returned to their original prominence, and he is one of the few who can effectively challenge Principal KUNO's authority. What is the principal's deep dark secret? Whatever it is, it's a trump card that Toramasa is not afraid to pull.
It's the grand reopening of the secondary school store at Furinken High. Come and say hello to its proud owner, Mr. Toramasa Kobayakawa, and allow him to show you some of the greatest deals in the Eastern world. The secondary school store is your headquarters for school supplies and magical trinkets. From sharpeners, compasses, haunted talismans, scientific calculators, trapper keepers, sarcophagi, liquid paper, man catchers, necronomicon, slide rulers, notebooks, textbooks, spellbooks, Cat O' Nine Tails, Papa Shango, Brother P-Touches, Wolfbane, Kopeshes, miniature dachshunds, slap bracelets, and as a special offer, free stuffed raccoons for the first 100 customers. So come on in and say hello to Toramasa Kobayakawa. He's your friend and mine, and stay for great savings and orgasmal prices! So come on down to Toramasa's secondary school store, located at Furinken High School off the BQE 2 miles south of the Tendo Dojo, or you can call us at 1-800-555-0070. That's 1-800-555-0070. This has been a Ranma 1/2 character profile.